Let's do the news, and we start off from the central region where police are on a manhunt for a 17-year-old boy who allegedly defiled a 14-year-old girl at a town in the Upper Dincha West District. The boy, who is said to have confessed to the crime, has since fled the town with his mother. And Esmenu visited the victim and her family at their farmhouse and now reports.
Tia, not her real name, is the second of 8 children. Determined to change the fortunes of her family, she takes her education seriously. Every day, she walks several kilometers to school. But a year ago, the actions of a 16-year-old boy changed her life. Ekia was defiled and got pregnant.
I walk alone to school, but return with my siblings. I always see this guy on my way to school. One day, he accosted me and raped me.
Looking very shy and carrying her 4-month-old baby, she tells me she didn't know when she got pregnant until her mother and her teacher said so. Moreover, the perpetrator had threatened to kill her if she told anybody.
He told me he will kill me if I tell anyone.
Ekia's father, Jonathan Say, says he reported the issue first to NGO World Vision Ghana, the police, and then to the Social Welfare Department, where the perpetrator took responsibility for the pregnancy and promised to take care of the child. But that would be the last time he would set eyes on him.
And I'm say, me fan call a social welfare. I want to call your friend boy no one back.
Initially, the boy failed to show up at the social welfare, but he came after the lawyers wrote to him. He admitted to being responsible for the pregnancy and promised to take care of the child. But after a week, no one came here. So I went back to town only to find out that the boy and his mother had left.
Meanwhile, the chiefs of Intom insisted some purification be done because it was a taboo to have any form of sex in the bush. According to them, failure to perform these rituals could result in the death of either the 14-year-old, her unborn baby, or both.
They told me to perform rituals or my child will die. So I bought 2 goats, a cock, and a bottle of gin. My daughter delivered and I bore the cost of that as well. I spent about 1,500 cedis on the rituals.
Ekia says every time she hears the cry of her baby, she remembers the pain she went through. To make matters worse, she's been stigmatized by her mates at school and some members of the community.
It hurts me. It hurts me that the boy did that to me. They say I'm a bad girl.
The stigma is so much so that even her father has been told to forget about seeking justice because they are settlers at Intom. The head of Child Protection and Advocacy at World Vision Ghana, Gregory Derry, says government must ensure that such victims are supported and justice delivered swiftly.
She wants to blame herself. Why did she go through that bush path? But she had the liberty like everybody to go anywhere because the law protects us. When these cases are reported to our partners, the Department of Social Welfare, the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit, and sometimes to SHRAJ, we expect that action is expedited because justice delayed is justice denied.
Meanwhile, he's pledged World Vision support to Ekia and her family, a gesture they are grateful for. Despite the ordeal, Ekia remains resolute in her decision to pursue her education.
I want to be a responsible adult just like you. Once my baby starts walking, I'll go back to school.
From Intom in the Central Region, Ernest Menu for Joy News.
Now back here in Accra, a high court has issued a bench warrant for the arrest of 2 persons believed to have been complicit in the kidnapping of 2 Canadian nationals last month. Senior State Attorney Hilda Craig has also asked the court for permission to publish their pictures on various media platforms. Meanwhile, at least 3 of the 8 suspects currently standing trial for the kidnapping have accused officials of the BNI of torturing them while in custody. There is more in this report.
First accused, Romeo Agalo, alleges he was forced to sign a statement confirming actions he did not engage in. He told the court he was not totally innocent of the accusations leveled against him, but additional facts have been added to his case. He also took the opportunity to apologize to the Canadian girls, their families, and the government of Ghana and Nigeria for participating in the crime. Yusuf Yakubu, who is the 4th accused person, also alleged that hot water was poured on him, causing injury to his back while in custody. The 8th accused person.
Well, we apologize for the sound quality there, but let's move on. And to Choco, we just close by, because some residents have appealed to government to provide the area with more dustbins so they could properly dispose of waste. Plastic waste has engulfed the entire shoreline, and this raises concerns about the health hazard it poses to residents. Fishermen there also tell Joy News the situation is adversely affecting their work. Vanessa Camera has more.
Choco, a coastal community, is located in the southwestern part of Accra. The beach is virtually covered with all forms of filth, including old clothes, but mostly discarded plastics. Gradually, the filth is heaping up, and this has become an eyesore for many, including residents. But amidst the jumble of filth are children heartily playing. Some squat to defecate just close to where other children are playing. Although there are public toilets in the community, many residents prefer the beach. The sea is also drowned with plastics, and as children swim, they compete with black polythene bags. Liquid waste from the community is directly channeled into the sea, and this could expose children to various forms of infections and illnesses. Although residents agree that they have not managed filth properly in their community, they say some of the filth are transported from other communities.
Rubbish inside the sea inside. So the rubbish, it there plenty.
We don't dump rubbish here because we are not able to afford the price charged at the dumping site. That's because there are not enough rubbish containers there, so we need more rubbish containers in this area. The rubbish is really worrying us. Zoom Lion used to collect them, but now they have stopped, making the beach very unclean. We are now surrounded by rubbish. The rubbish comes from the hill down to the beach. It is affecting our fishing business. We only get little or no fish when we go fishing.
The plastic is not just an eyesore, it's also affecting the fishing business in Choco. Fishermen say anytime they cast their net, they trap filth instead of fish.
When it rains, it flows through the gutter straight into the sea. We don't get fishes, we only get rubbish when we go fishing. And it's brought hardship on us.
The story of filth engulfing this community is not new, but it persists because of bad littering habits of the people. But the residents are appealing to municipal authorities to provide the community with rubbish containers for proper disposal of garbage.
I'd like to talk to the government to make sure that it creates more dustbin location available around the vicinity, especially those are swamp areas and those are the seashores, because most of our rubbish from the top to the down. And you know that every ocean, every lake or every river links to the sea. So definitely the rubbish may not come from this community, but it may come from the far there to this end. So at the results, you may see that this community created the rubbish, but actually it's not from this community. So it means the people over there are lacking containers. At the end of it, it affects this community.
Get to Parliament, where Majority Leader Oseche Mensah-Bonsu has defended the construction of a new chamber building capable of seating 450 members. Now, he says the new complex will host several other facilities, including a museum, and ensure all government officials are able to do business in the House unhindered.
I think that we are on course, and I'm impressed by what I've seen. The space fronting the chamber, I think we all agree that it should be sufficient to accommodate the numbers who would want to witness, say, a president deliver a message on the State of the Nation, or indeed at the very coronation of any president. I think we should come to some terms that once we finish with this, we say goodbye to Black Star Square. That is not where it's supposed to be. We convert that square into Parliament on that day. And then when the president is being sworn in, we have the entire space being breached by non-members of Parliament, and they may not even want to surrender space to the members of Parliament. So I think that is by and large, a very useful thing. So we shall have adequate space to accommodate our citizens who want to witness the situation and the coronation of the president, and also have adequate infrastructure for those of them who are not able to come into the chamber, or wherever it should be done, to accommodate them, and they all feel part of it.
And to end the bulletin, President Akufo-Addo has described as untrue and unfortunate claims that the new tertiary education bill will take away academic freedom. The bill, set to be put before Parliament after consultations with various interest groups, aims, among others, to bring all public universities under uniform administration and subsequently address challenges associated with running the schools. Addressing the 11th congregation of the University of Professional Studies, Accra, President Akufo-Addo stated his government fully supports academic freedoms and will work to promote it.
Consultations on the Public Universities Bill have been completed and will be laid before Parliament this year. Amongst others, this will bring all the public universities under a common law and thereby make the administration of the public universities less cumbersome and more efficient. The flimsy allegations being perpetrated that the bill will undermine academic freedom are deliberate, mischief-making, and disingenuous. My government and I are firm subscribers, as the bill amply demonstrates, to the cardinal importance of the principle of academic freedom in the development of all institutions of learning worth their salt. I commend the Council and management of the University of Professional Studies for placing emphasis on courses relevant to the needs of the Ghanaian economy, particularly management sciences, accountancy, marketing, banking and finance, communication.
Right, well, that's where the bulletin wraps up, but there's so much more coming up on the AM show today. Torture, as well as competition, will be up for discussion. Stay exactly where you are. We're coming up with the newspaper review right after these.